What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, and I wanted to kind of do a channel update and answer a few viewer questions. I started this channel last year. Well, I've had my YouTube account forever, but I started this channel as a Magic channel last year in June. It's been a year, and it's been quite the year, right? We are sitting at I don't know, it's somewhere around 2,000 subscribers at this point, 2,100. Way bigger than I ever would have hoped or dreamed for the channel to be. I started it as a hobby, right? Something to give me an escape from my daily job, the stresses of working class life. And I love Magic so very much, and it's something that has brought me a lot of joy. And I hope for you viewers out there that it has brought you some kind of joy as well. No, I'm not perfect. I know I can't edit a video to save my life. Someday I will learn those things a little bit better. But the first thing I wanted to say right off the bat is I wanted to thank everybody for the kindness and support that they have given. I feel like I've built a channel that is very welcoming to folks. That's one of the most. There's the two most important things to me in Magic the Gathering are, one, that it is affordable and economically accessible to every person regardless of their economic circumstances. That's a big reason why I started the sub-series of Magic for the Working Class. I grew up in a household where, my dad was a factory worker, right? And I watched as my dad got laid off a lot, and I mean a lot, when I was a kid. Jobs being outsourced, automation, things like that. And I know what it's like to not have a whole lot, and I want to make sure that folks out there who know that struggle as well still have that option, right? That's what Magic for the Working Class is all about. Under $100. Me myself, my first job was $5.15 an hour. I had to help out my folks sometimes, and I saved my $5.15 an hour to buy packs of Time Spiral and things like that. It was a good time. And then the other core thing that I truly believe in Magic is that it should be a safe place for everyone to be able to come and have fun, make memories, and make friends. I talked about it a little bit in some of my early videos. I was a kid who did not have a lot of friends growing up. Lived in rural Iowa. Was not athletic whatsoever. I don't know if you can tell, this is not the most athletic physique in the world. But wasn't good at sports. I was a nerdy kid. I loved history. I loved paleontology, nerdy things like Pokemon, etc. And that doesn't win you a whole lot of friends in rural Iowa, where the most important things are usually like the small town sports like football, etc. So I didn't have a lot of friends. Was bullied a lot. Not great. And Magic actually is what brought me a lot of my lifelong friends. People that I still call friends today, that are like family to me today, I have gathered through Magic. So I want the Hidden Gibbon channel. I know it's mostly deck techs and stuff like that, but I always want to make sure that everybody who watches knows that you are always welcome at my channel, especially those folks who feel left out, excluded, and marginalized elsewhere. I want you to feel that you have a safe place here at the Hidden Gibbon. Sorry, I'm comfortable with my emotions. I'm okay with tearing up and crying a little bit. It is what it is. I want this channel and I want Magic to be something that when my daughter, my little girl, gets old enough, if she wants to learn how to play, that she finds those same friends and memories. And I want this channel to be something that she can look at when she gets older and not be embarrassed or be like, oh, Dad, you're kind of a jerk, but something she can be proud of. And so, that's the sappy part of this channel. I know, or this video, I know this won't get the most amount of views. For those of you out there who watch everything, thank you for all of your kind words and stuff. The second part of this video, though, is I put out a question a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago at this point, just asking to see if anybody wanted to ask any questions. Like, the channel had grown. I get a lot of comments and random questions. I got once I got asked what my favorite movie is, and like recently, it's Godzilla minus one. Right? I love that movie a lot. I am a big fan of the old Godzilla movies. So, I did a little like Google form thing that people could respond to anonymously, and I got a few questions from it. I was expecting none, but I got a few, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and what I'll do is on screen here, with the flickering little candle that I've got, I will throw up some of the I'll throw up text or whatever for the question, and then I'll answer it. So let's start off. Let's see what's the first one here. What's my favorite commander ever? Oh, that's difficult. I have like 80 commander decks at this point, plus like 9 precons. I don't believe that Magic cards should just sit in a binder. They should be played. Ooh, this is really tough. If my favorite is the one that I play the most, it's gonna be Azusa. My Azusa deck, I love its simple efficiency. It gets boring after a while, but I love how efficient it is. As far as like nostalgia, that's got to be Sharoom. Sharoom was one of my very first commanders that I ever built during a Lara block, and I love that commander. Same with Mile the Anima, but Sharoom, man, Sharoom is just such a house, and still is quite the house. You don't see Sharoom very often anymore, but that card is just so fun and so good. How do I feel about Universes Beyond right now? So, I used to hate Universes Beyond when they first started. When the Walking Dead stuff came out, I was a Universes Beyond hater. Despised it. Thought it was going to destroy Magic. And I've come a long way on that. I've got complicated feelings on Universes Beyond now, right? I don't think it's going to kill Magic. I think that we have an imbalance. I also think that they should be what are used for Modern Master sets or Eternal Master sets rather than standard sets. I think that the power and like flavor level of Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth, is what we should be seeing for our Universes Beyond sets. It gives them more freedom and flexibility to make a bunch of really cool and strong cards without warping the standard format, and gives them a lot more freedom to make super powerful cards, right? You weren't going to get the One Ring in standard. That wasn't going to happen. But you'd get it in Modern. Sure, it warped a whole bunch of things, but is what it is. And now I think that Universes Beyond sets will only be as good as the amount of love, care, and time that Wizards puts into them, right? We've seen really, really good Universes Beyond sets. The Lord of the Rings set, phenomenal. I loved it. Final Fantasy, I don't know hardly anything about Final Fantasy. I only ever played 10, and I really liked that set. I thought it played really well. I liked the flavor of the cards. And then the Avatar set, I really liked. I thought it was very, very good. Now, the Turtles set and the Spider-Man set, part of that is because they were small sets, and the Spider-Man set we know got rushed out because of all of the stuff that went on with those micro boosters like Assassin's Creed and Aftermath, and how that just didn't pan out very well. But I think once Wizards figures out, I think it'll be fine for the most part. There will be some properties that aren't going to do well, right? Like there are just some that are not going to cross over very well, but others that will. I do think eventually they'll slow down with the amount of Universes Beyond, primarily because the amount of juggernaut properties that they're going to get is finite, right? I'm sure that at some point in time we will get Star Wars. It's going to happen. Regardless of Star Wars having its own trading card game right now, it will happen. Otherwise, that's just money left on the table for Disney and for Wizards. And corporations in current economy, they love their money. So Star Wars will come eventually. I'm sure we'll get Game of Thrones and Elder Scrolls. Hell, I wouldn't be shocked if we got some Halo stuff or things like that as those games get revitalized and come to fruition, right? People are going to be looking and seeing how successful like the Marvel superhero set was, or the Avatar set, or Final Fantasy, and they're going to want in on it. Like I said, it's complicated. I don't like certain aspects of Universes Beyond. I'm not a standard player anymore, but I don't like that they're standard sets. But I love how they've brought people into the game. There are people that I know personally that would have never touched Magic the Gathering had it not been for Universes Beyond. One of my friends from when I worked on the Bernie campaign, they actually started playing Magic during Avatar because they liked Avatar, and they are really liking Magic now and discovering cards that aren't just from Avatar. That's a great thing. But yeah, I could go on and on about this question, but we'll keep things moving. What do I do for fun that isn't Magic? Oh, well, I have quite a few hobbies. I play League of Legends because I hate my mental health. If you ever want to play League with me, I've played since closed beta in 2008. Don't ask me how much money I've spent on the game over the years. Please don't ask me that question. But I play League with my friends on the weekends. That's something I do for fun. Before I had my daughter, when I had a lot more free time, I used to paint models. I'll throw some images up here. I play a board game called Axis and Allies. So it's like Risk, but World War II. And I started custom painting the pieces for it. I even had like a little Etsy shop for a while. I plan on restarting that once my daughter is like 5 or 6 and a little bit more independent. A 3-year-old, I gotta kind of pay attention to, right? So that was really fun. Oh man. Besides, man. I don't know. I'm sure you notice in the background the weird stuff back there, but I collect like historical stuff, primarily World War II. I collect foreign currency. I have got like some Roman coins and stuff back there. I love history. I love history. If you couldn't tell, that's why I do the historical commander. I collect World War II firearms. Generally try to collect anything that's not German, because F that. What else do I do for fun outside of work? Well, I work. I work outside of Magic, and work is not exactly the funnest thing in the world. But yeah, and of course, hang out with my wife and daughter. Oh, and Sundays on my friend's Discord, we watch movies every Sunday, and we've been doing that for 3 years. We've watched like 500 something movies. So that's what I do for fun outside of Magic. Are there any commanders I don't like? That's an interesting question. I mean, there's some that annoy me. There's none that I'm not going to be like... There's no commander where I'm going to be like, I'm not playing against you, you're playing this commander. God, no. That's a skill issue on my part. If I can't handle somebody else's commander, that's a me problem, not a them problem. There's some that annoy me, though. VV is kind of annoying. I don't like how fast he can pop off, but, you know, that's on me to play more removal and more interaction. I don't like Brago because he takes every person I've ever played with that plays Brago as their commander. God bless them. It takes 5 ever for them to finish a turn. So other than those two, though, I can't really think of any. I mean, like, when I first started playing Magic, one of my friend's commander decks, or EDH back then, was a land destruction deck. So I'll play against anything, right? What's my favorite set ever? Oh, let's see here. It's probably a tie. So I'm going to go with block rather than set. It's either a Lara block or Time Spiral block. Those are my 2 favorites of all time, bar none, hands down, and it's pretty much a tie between the 2 of them. Ravnica's whatever. There's a lot of oldies that really like Lorwyn, but I am serious when I say that, like especially Planar Chaos and Future Sight. My God, did I love those! I love those so much. And then Alara gave me all of my early commanders. I had Janara, I had Mael, I had Sharoom, Sen's triplets. I'm trying to think of a whole bunch of others, but I love those two sets. I think that, to me, those two blocks embody everything good about Magic, and I would love for us to go back to Alara. But yeah, those are my favorites. Do you have a Patreon or anything? Nah, I don't have a Patreon. I have YouTube memberships, but I don't actively advertise for those. I have Buy Me a Coffee or whatever it's called. I don't really actively advertise for that. And the reason I don't do anything like that or actively advertise is because I'm a working class individual, right? Sure, it would make my life easier if other people like donated and stuff like that, but I know that a lot of folks out there who watch my channel are probably also working class, and I would not feel right asking for other people's money. I know there's a whole bunch of people that'll be like, don't forget to go to the Patreon or join the memberships. I'm not about that. No criticism to anybody that does. I absolutely understand why they do. I just don't, because I just, it would make me feel bad if I was taking from somebody else who needed that like $2 a month more than me. I'm fine with YouTube paying me some AdSense, right? Like, you know, make the multi-billion-dollar corporation pay me. Let's see here. Oh, we're already almost done. Oh, well, there's two that are pretty much the same. Do you watch any other Magic YouTubers? Yeah, I watch a lot, actually. I watch the Prof with his Shuffle Up and Play. I like watching Commander Clash on the MTG Goldfish. I really like watching the Mirror Mirror podcast with Trinket Mage, Salubrious Snail, and 3-3 Elk, because I really, especially for them, I love how in-depth they go on cards. And although I'm like a dude who makes deck techs and makes them kind of generic, because I kind of design my deck techs like precons, where this gives people a general idea and then they can build from there. I really love those three and how they discuss cards and how to do really unique things in decks. It's really cool. I highly recommend them. Who else? I love Pleasant Kenobi. That's another person. I watch a lot of Amy's arena content, like the Brawl content. That's super fun because I like playing Brawl. And yeah, those are most of them. There's a bunch that I just watch casually as well, randomly, but those are the main ones. And then the other one that was related to this is like, what is your favorite Magic YouTube channel or YouTuber? Ooh, like I mentioned like Trinket Mage and those guys, and I really like them. Lately, Commander Pommy has been pretty high up there. I love the Magic Jeopardy show that he's been doing. It's phenomenal. It's really funny, really good. I think honestly though, my favorite person that I watch on YouTube is probably Krim from MTG Goldfish, because like he and I are have a lot of similarities in playing a lot of interaction, stacks, all that sort of stuff. Like the hard control sort of meta, it really speaks to me, that sort of thing. And like his very welcoming and open sort of style personality he has, at least on the show. I've never met any of these folks in real life because I'm in the middle of nowhere, Iowa, and have never been to like a command fest or anything like that. But always really friendly, open, seems to really just like want to have fun with the game rather than worry about all the like nonsense that happens in the game. And oh yeah. The last one here, I thought I missed earlier. Yeah. The last one is why deck techs? Okay, so like I get it. Deck techs are a dime a dozen. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I am the best in the world at making decks. I'm not. I have my flaws. I miss things all the time. Someone just reminded me on my Magic for the Working Class for Ishtola that I messed up and put a card that the counterspell that is cheaper if there's a wizard, but she's a warlock. Dumb on me. But what I do, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, is for my deck techs, is I treat them like building a precon for someone, right? Especially with viewer requests, which whole big paper of viewer requests. Is I build a concept for people and something that is functional as is, but what I want is for people to make it their own, right? I don't want you like you can, but I don't want you to just be like, oh, Weston built this Cleopatra deck. I'm going to build the exact same Cleopatra deck. Nah, that's okay if you do, but I would love if you look at the Cleopatra list, look at the deck tech, and be like, you know what? I like the idea he had here, but I'm going to run with it and make something that's a little bit different and unique. And I would love, love, love to do that. Absolutely love to do that. Okay, that was it for the questions. If more questions roll in at some point in time, I can always answer more. That would be fun. So now I want to move on to the channel's future. I'm going to keep doing daily deck techs, still doing Magic for the working class, still going to do History for Commander. History for Commander is super niche, gets like no views, but I absolutely love it because I love history that much. And I actually, in my perfect world, rather than just doing Universes Beyond, Wizards would do... Magic the Gathering already heavily borrows, if not steals, from actual cultures, right? Like, look at Ixalan. It has the pre-Columbian, like, Central American, South American cultures. And then it also has, like, Spanish conquistadors as vampires. It's really on brand that they're blood-sucking vampires. You know, you have Kaldheim, that is ancient Norse mythology. You have Amonkhet, which is ancient Egypt. You have Avishkar, which is like India, right? Kamigawa is literally Japan. Their spirits are even called Kami, right? And I would love if we actually like did some historical stuff. That's part of the reason I make those custom commanders. So that is, I'm going to keep doing all of those things. Something I would like to do, I don't currently have a lot of time, is I would like to start playing with viewers on Spell Table. That is something I would like to do, but here's the caveat. So I work nights on the weekdays, right? I work 4 10-hour shifts every week. My wife works the day shift, like the 12 hours from Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And so whichever one of us isn't working is, you know, taking care of our daughter, making sure she's happy, healthy, well-fed, having a loving and caring life, right? And so I would love to play those games with people. What I want to ask here, if anybody watches this, is, are you okay with, like, if I'm playing, if I'm like, hey, I have to just, like, attend to my tiny human here real quick? And because if not, it's not really a feasible thing. I can't, my parents are willing to watch her sometimes, but I don't want to pawn off my kid for a YouTube channel, right? My family will always be first and foremost in my life. So if that's okay with you guys, then I will figure out how to set it up, maybe like every Saturday or every Monday, doing like we can, if there's enough interest in it, doing like a thing where we do a picker wheel spin, we get some folks up, we get them in the game, and we have a commander game. That would be super cool. I'd be fine with that. Next thing I want to do, I want to do more discussion. I've been real bad about them, about doing a lot of like random discussion videos, but I want to do more of those. The thing is like, so like full disclosure, the most popular video on my entire channel was early on, and it was during the Secret Lair with Jaws and the demonic tutor, etc. And that was me being extremely upset about how Secret Lairs went, and I was very angry, and I focused on the negative, and it got like 12,000 views. It is by far the most viewed video on this channel. I don't like being negative. There's a lot of things that you can be negative about in Magic, but I'm not gonna do it. And so like when the daily drama and stuff happens, there are a million better YouTubers than me to cover that stuff and do a much better job at being angry and comedic. I'm just a dude sitting in my basement office in Iowa. But I would love to be able to, you know, I talk about some things. I'm starting to grade the guilds a little bit. I got to move on from just Boros. I talked about some things that have happened to me in my Magic career and stuff like that. Also, I gotta, at some point in time, gotta figure out what to do with these. It's the Twisted Metal Soul Ring that I don't want because I'm not a fan of Twisted Metal. It just came with my Secret Lairs. And then these 2 God of War ones, I gotta figure that out. But I don't know how to do YouTube giveaways without like getting my channel nuked into oblivion, so I haven't done them. If any of you know how to do YouTube giveaways without being, sent to the shadow realm, I don't want to lose my channel over something like that, right? Then I will do that for that, and I'll find some way to do it. And looking forward to the future, right? I'm just gonna keep chugging along. When I go to Korea and Japan this year, my wife, she is originally from Korea. She was adopted from Korea, and we have reconnected with her birth family over there. And for her, it's really important that we go back to Korea. Like, it's about every 2 years, so that way she can, rediscover her heritage, rediscover her culture, be able to interact with her birth family as best as she can. And what I want to do when I'm over there is go to an LGS in Seoul, and if they would allow, I'm going to email a couple stores and just be like, hey, would you be willing to be interviewed? I want to do this in a really respectful way, kind of show the magic atmosphere in Seoul and highlight how magic is in other countries, right? And then we're also going to Japan because we've both always wanted to go to Japan. And honestly, the flight from Korea to Japan is very short, and it's on the way back anyway. And we're going to go to Tokyo for a few days. And I plan on stopping, hopefully, in a magic store in Tokyo and filming there, again, in a very respectful manner. But I plan on doing some stuff around those trips. Maybe I can even do some stuff where I show off a little bit of the countries, because Japan eats up a lot of space in the like social media realm, but like Korea is a beautiful, beautiful country, and I would love for people to see more of that. So maybe when we are on that trip, I will get some stuff there for that. And then just gonna keep going forward. We're at 2,100 subscribers right now. Here's to the 3,000, the 4,000, the 5,000. I don't think we'll ever hit 10,000. That's never gonna happen, friends. And then, like, in the far distant future, you know what? Like the pie in the sky dream. This is the dream. This is when I know I'll have made it. Is if I ever get like invited to like do like a shuffle up and play or something like that. That's my pipe dream. Like, this would be so cool. Probably never gonna happen, but it would be super cool. A collaboration or something like that. Get to meet some of the people that I've always admired in Magic, like the Prof and other folks who have made the community what it is today. Made space so that way, like, me, a random guy in his basement, could make Magic the Gathering videos, right? But yeah, I've rambled on for long enough. This video's at like 28 minutes, so let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, let me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, everything in between. I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for being here for me and the Hidden Gibbon. And here's to a bright and happy future. And here's to hoping, at some point in time, I will finally get good at Magic. But I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.